Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to our review of the Dreame L20 Ultra Robot Vacuum Mop Combo. It's the new flagship robot vacuum from Dreame, which is packed with some of the most advanced features in the industry. The Dreame L20 Ultra recently won our annual competition for the best robot vacuum of 2023, and in this video I'll go over the pros and cons of the L20 and get into a lot more detail about why it won. So, links in the description, and let's get started. Starting off with the basics, the Dreame L20 Ultra was really good at its main job of vacuuming up debris of all types and sizes from hard floors as well as carpets. It has one side brush for sweeping and a floating brush housing and anti-tangle brush, both of which we found to be really effective for hard floor sweeping, even with things like pet hair, where it did not blow the hair around with its exhaust, which is more rare than you might think. Like many premium robots these days, it also has the capability to mop hard floors, and here it uses two spinning mop pads which also exert downward pressure on the floors to better scrub stains. In our various mop tests, it did much better than average, mopping up dried grape juice and dried coffee stains extremely well, which is not an easy thing to do. It also efficiently dealt with light wet stains in our glow-in-the-dark test. But part of what makes the L20 Ultra so interesting is the various mopping features it has. For example, it has Mop Extend technology, which is a system where during edge cleaning runs, an arm on one of the mop pads extends to better cover the area nearest the wall, which is something I haven't seen before and seemed to work good. It also has the ability to lift up its mop pads when it senses carpets. This is a great new feature, which means that if you have a mixture of hard floors and carpets in your home, instead of doing two separate runs, one with and one without the mop pads attached, you can now do it all in just one run, which saves a lot of time and battery life. But the Dreame L20 took this a step further, where you now have the option in the app to have the robot return to the base and leave its mop pads behind when it vacuums carpets. It does this using a series of magnets. This means that you can now be extra sure that the wet mop pads will not get your carpets wet, because even though the L20 Ultra lifts the mop pads 10.5 millimeters, which is much higher than its competitors, there is still a chance that the pads can touch the carpet. So this new option is an interesting solution to that problem. To test the efficiency of this, I timed its runs, one time with the mop pad lifting and one time with it leaving the mop pads in the base, and it was a very comparable time. Moving on to its automatic base station. When the robot returns to its base to charge, it will automatically empty the robot's dustbin into an included bag, which are particularly big at 3.2 liters, and Dreame says it can give you 75 days of pretty heavy use before needing to change it. The base station can wash the robot's mop pads automatically, which it can do multiple times per run if you want. It refills the robot's clean water tank and disposes of dirty water into larger than average tanks accessible from the top of the station, along with a cleaning solution dispenser which mixes the right amount of solution automatically into the robot's tank. If that wasn't enough, the base also automatically dries the mop pads with warm air, and it has a removable tray for deep cleaning, which is fast becoming a must-have feature in my opinion. Moving on to navigation, the Dreame L20 Ultra uses LiDAR to make a map and navigate around your house. I found that it made a map of our floor plan in about 5 minutes and seemed fairly smart with its basic route planning. It also has a front-mounted obstacle avoidance system, which is only available on more expensive robots like this one. In this case, it uses a combination of the best available technologies like camera-based AI and 3D structured light, as well as a light and even additional lasers to help it avoid obstacles. In our tests, it did much better than its competition, scoring a 10 out of 12. Not perfect, but better than many of its premium competitors. To test its navigation efficiency, we run it on a fixed floor plan several times on various power settings, and here we found that while it was a little slower than expected with general speed, probably due to the extra attention it puts on edge cleaning, its battery efficiency was the best I've ever seen, probably due to it having one of the biggest batteries I've ever seen. In any case, all this added up to a very high coverage per charge estimate of 1,600 square feet per charge, which is just an estimate, but it's still much higher than average. The Dreame L20 is packed with features of all types, including things like carpet boost, fast charging, remote video monitoring, and all kinds of app features like virtual wall barriers, room select, area cleaning, mop along floor direction, which is a new feature I really like, multi-level mapping, individual room settings, cleaning sequence preferences, advanced scheduling, 3D maps, water level and bin behavior settings, pretty much anything you can think of as far as app-based features. It can't all be good stuff though, so let's move on to the cons. The first thing is the price. It's one of the most expensive robot vacuums on the market, so that's a consideration for sure. Another thing is that at the time of making this video, there aren't a lot of consumer reviews out there yet because it is so new. Another thing is that its power performance on some of our tests were just kind of average. Like I said, its actual pickup was as good as it gets with hard floors and carpets. But although its official suction power is 7,000 pascals, which is a lot, and our airflow tests were higher than average, it was just about average and maybe a little below average with things like our crevice pickup test and our deep clean test. Still pretty good scores, but I was hoping for a bit more. So to recap, the Dreame L20 Ultra has incredibly good pickup on hard floors and carpets, incredibly good mopping ability, game-changing mopping features, and an auto empty bin design with all the latest technologies and then some. It has much better than average battery life and obstacle avoidance ability, and every app feature you can think of. Its downsides are its price and lack of reviews, as well as just so-so crevice and deep cleaning scores. But overall, I really like the Dreame L20 Ultra, and there's a reason that, at least by our scoring system, it was the best overall robot vacuum in 2023. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching.